Hello and welcome to another GT Way video. Today we made it into a longer session. I think this is a 13 lap race around France. And guess what? I didn't notice in qualifying, but in qualifying you could kind of see the weather, which I seemingly chose to ignore. Thankfully though, as you'll see, the setup that I used seemingly just kind of worked for what conditions. And we got a pretty interesting race, I guess we could say, on our hands. It was definitely very interesting, with full of moments, you could say. There were definitely quite a few moments in this race. But anyway, we're in qualifying. We're going to get ourselves a setup. We're going to put it on like nearly no fuel, and we're going to send it and hope for the best. So, going through, looks like we're fighting for the bottom 10 positions, 8th through 12th, and actually rising a little bit up into 5th. Look at that. Though we do screw up this slow corner, dropping us back a little bit. We are 1.5 seconds away from the leader. Not too bad out of this corner, getting the DRS. Very nice. So, coming down the long straight in France, where we break in just before the 100 board, it seems. And this could have gone a little bit faster, but either way, we climb up another position into 6th place. Not too bad, though. Like I mentioned, going faster there, the leader gained about 7/10 on us there. DX leaving the session. Oh, so that confirms my theory from before. If you see a car with a little X next to their name, that means they had dropped the session. You learn everything every day, it turns out. And we are still actively learning France. Not too bad, though. We are... that wasn't great, as we put in a little bit too much throttle on the apex. And still finished 6th, though. That goof up didn't really end up costing us too much time. So, let's see where that is in the grand scheme of things. 6th place. Where will we be in this lobby? So, it is a wet race going into dry later on. We decided to go a little bit lower on fuel. I probably should have fueled a little bit lower because, well, you kind of actively fuel save when you're running the intermediate or wet tires, so not really sure what I'm doing here. Maybe trying to make it so that I automatically go into medium tires on my second stint, but the game won't let me. And here we are. We got Pablo Escobar, we got Michael Scott, we got Damonsk 8. Watch that guy. Yeah, he does things in this race. Alk Bach just sending it. Oh, Michael Scott eating the wall. Poor Michael Scott. He actually turns out to be quite a fast driver. We'll see his name again pop up later on. Being this isn't ranked, there's no safety rating, and the drivers ahead don't really need to worry about losing any points or anything. They can whack into each other as many times as they feel like. I go a little bit wide here, hoping that maybe I could get the run on beast mode since he had dropped. DX also having dropped is a little bit farther ahead. But instead, I am being dropped by those that were dropped from the game. And it's not looking too great. We're 1.3 seconds behind. This is wet conditions though, and later on we'll see my pace start to improve as the conditions improve. We got Michael Scott behind, who has no wing, and he's catching very quickly actually for someone who doesn't have a wing. We come in through here. The confidence is lacking, and the car behind can absolutely feel it. And Michael Scott is looking on the inside, goes onto the move. I bump him a little bit, and just very nice. He just pulls it off. Let's see, does he go for the wing change? We nearly lose the rear. I think trying to possibly bounce acceleration or pounce on the acceleration of Michael Scott, since he might not have the stability in the front. Instead, we end up losing the rear a little bit. DX ahead, still roughly 1.5 seconds. Beast mode. Oh, actually, those positions changed. Beast mode and DX had changed positions. We have, I think, Moose or Mouse ahead, and Skywalker 11 seconds behind, probably caught up in a different incident and having sent himself into the wall. So we have DX Beast mode and me, and we're kind of in this race together for a little while. The virtual safety car has been deployed, so we end up just holding our positions behind DX and Beast mode. It seems, who is that? Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. Off the track, on the track, and then through the track. To regain his position, I guess. Must have spun out. Scooby on the side of the road, also seemingly spun out. Possibly caught up in an incident. 9 seconds of penalties. Oof. So, here, we're hoping that maybe we can finally get better conditions. The virtual safety car is still underway, so... Oh, Pablo Escobar dropping the session. I imagine he racked up quite a lot of penalties after just cutting the track. And now we got the infamous Demonsk 8 up ahead. He is up there in 2 seconds. Virtual safety car ending. We're getting ready to go racing again. So, that was incredible. I just love seeing things just explode in this game. It just reminds me of 2021 Monza, Seb smashing through those like barriers as he has a brake failure. It was just a spectacular kind of thing. Thank Monsk ahead, DX, and then Beast mode, the disconnected driver, and we have a Kabak in the pits, assuming some wing damage probably. Seems that conditions are improving because my engineer has just warned us not to overheat our tires, but it doesn't feel like we're really in dry conditions yet, and it seems like rain is still falling. We are keeping just behind Demonsk 8 and DX. Kind of going nose to tail, and you can see Scooby on the side of the road. It doesn't seem that the marshals have done their job there and just left the car because I guess the chaos of F1 22 online, no one should risk going out on track when there's cars on track in this environment. That's pretty much a certain amount of death you're taking on, like a certain amount of death risk. And you really don't want to die. So, completely understandable leaving Scooby on track. I'm sure the driver jumped out and just ran. Especially after seeing Demonsk just floor it through one of the boards. Here, Demonsk has an 8-second penalty. So, as long as we keep it behind him, we should be completely fine. At this point in the race, we hear DRS is online, so you know what that means? Dry track, might as well just go in. And we panic because it still says inters. We just have enough time to switch next tires to soft and then medium because we think probably not gonna get another chance. Don't need to change the wings, so that's great. And look at that. Medium tires. The track looks wet, but apparently it's dry enough for DRS, so we got DRS, or we got dry tires. Hoping for the best. So, the thing is, yes, dry tires are great, but as you could see, when we completely miss the corner there, and from the right-hand side, the tires are ice cold. Look at that blue. We got roughly an 80 to 75 outer temperature and like a low mid-70s core temperature, and that's just not great. We really gotta try and work the tires more, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like the grip is there, so it's a little scary. Seems we've had an incident ahead, and thankfully, since it's a straight, we can just floor it and not worry too much about skidding around, because going straight and braking straight, nice and easy. We got Demonsky catching behind. 6-second penalty, so I'm guessing he served in 8 seconds in the pits. He went from a intermediate to an intermediate, which is interesting. It might have been the right call actually, since as you can see he's catching, but we are on the dry tire and the track is drying pretty fast. There doesn't seem to be much visible water on the track anymore. We are getting some spray on the visor. That's just like probably flecks of rainwater coming up off the track, or maybe some droplets still falling, but overall track looks pretty dry. Tires are warm and everything seems great for us to really start sending it. We just need to start nailing braking, which we're not really there yet. As you can see, we lose like 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths on Demonsk. Demonsk is looking for the move around the outside. We try and cover it by going wide. He goes on our inside and just sends it right to the outside of the track as if we aren't there. And we get a collision with Demonsk. Warning. I mean, not really much we could have gotten and done there other than driven farther off the track. I'm pretty sure we are on it though, so I don't know. Either way, we catch it pretty easily. The guy is on intermediates and we're on mediums, so honestly, all we need to do is stay behind and just wait until he has to pit and we'll be good. So that's what we do. We let off the brakes early. We already got a bit of a warning that Demonsk is a little bit of a sketchy driver. At the same time though, it seems we kind of want a little bit more of that action. That Demonsk action. We want to live a risky lifestyle in F1 22. We're embracing the meme and the chaos. And guess what? We're not gonna lie it down. We're gonna see if we can send it on Demonsk somewhere on the track. We take that corner pretty sharp, hoping to try and get him off guard. We go towards the outside. Demonsk starts to move towards the outside as well. And I guess that's legal technically, because he didn't really turn towards me. But I don't know if the 3-second penalty is really warranted there on my part. We got DX who had disconnected, so supposedly an AI is controlling him, but somehow he ended up driving across the track, which, I mean, I guess, whatever, I don't know. He's not really in the race. Anyway, we got DRS, Demonsk is ahead, and we're gonna catch him. We want some more of that action. We got 3 seconds, we got a little bit of a bloodlust going, and we're gonna see if we can catch him and take him on. We have a little bit of righteous fury going, and 17% ERS, so we gotta be careful about where we try and make our moves. So here, We are dry tires, dry track. We can do it flat out. Pretty nice. We are gonna see if we can sneak around on the inside on Demonsk. Go for the middle of the track. Demonsk turns outwards as if we aren't there. We bump him a little bit, but I'd say that's a racing incident. And then kind of just place myself in the middle of the track. Just letting him know that I'm not just gonna be rolling over. So we get through DX. Demonsk is in the pits, and we're thinking to ourselves, well, at least that's over. And we just don't have to deal with Demonsk anymore. We can just carry out our boring race with a guy ahead. But somehow safety car comes out, and we decide, you know what? It's time for soft tires. Because if we're going to get a safety car, might as well go for gold. Get some soft tires out. See if we can get some higher points. Honestly, kind of a Ferrari strategy type move here, because we had 6th place, which we just lost to Michael Scott. Sure, we'd get jumped by people on soft tires, but at the same time, as you're gonna see later on, the whole bunched up thing kind of worked against everyone in the back. So Demonsk right ahead of us again. We have to deal with him, and probably should be a bit more, I don't know, probably should roll back on the aggression. If you're gonna deal with an aggressive driver, just keep it cool. It seems like he's making a lot of mistakes, and the thing is, when you're aggressive with an aggressive driver, it kind of just leads to more problems. As we're about to see, the safety car restart is about to happen, and here we go. It looks like people are going, and then all of a sudden stop. Oof. That feels kind of like the Imola restart. A big collision with the Dominican, accidentally take him out, but I don't really know what I could have done. We'll go for a slow-mo here. Dominican is going. I decide to go. I know DX is ghosted, so I decide to send it. Dominican throws the brakes on, and we slam into him. Basically take him out. Not my greatest moment there. And exemplary? I think exemplary is the right word. Exemplary of the idea of keeping a cool head, probably prevailing. And now we have to finish the race on a wing and have the death of the Dominican in our conscience. Not incredible. But, you know, we live and we learn. Except for the Dominican who died. But 6th place. We started at 6th. We ended in 6th. Not a terrible thing. DX apparently disconnected from the game, but his AI was so good. Or maybe it was him. Maybe it's just if you have really bad connection issues, you get ghosted. Anyway, ending in 6th. Not terrible. And there's Demonsk. Pretty safe to say dirty driver. Anyway, we'll see you next time.